I joined because I just love being in a team where everybody kind of has the same likes and differences, because we all kind of are nerdy and like to game and have fun.
I believe in STEM. I think it's great for kids. It's hands-on. It teaches them how to problem solve.
I want to be a robotics engineer when I grow up, and I feel like this will give me a good thing to put on my college application, and B, will give me a good jump start on programming and building robots.
Okay, you guys want to do a Deadpool dance with me? Ghost Rider, you in on this?
Try.
There is no try. There's only Deadpool dance.
Okay.
You ready? All right. Yo, you even have music. Oh, there's music. You ready? Love dance, Deadpool. Love dance with Deadpool. That's for me. Deadpool, Deadpool. Awesome. can do that. Yeah, hammer dance. Oh. You can't touch this. We just did some dancing with it. All right, Luigi, give us the Mario Kart game death stare. Exclusive. That's it. Look at that. Like a black widow, baby.
Hey, welcome to episode 61, Ladies of the Round Table. I am one of your hosts at the table, Shrivasta, aka Carmen. And tonight, we have a serious table here. We've got some serious people, right? We've got new host to the table. We want to welcome Holly Ann. She's over somewhere. You know this game that we play. And then we also have back at the table Miss Robin Sheba, I think. Am I right? And then, of course, Miss Pixie still at the table picking up the slack. And then the man, the beard, Chris Wiseman, a.k.a. Captain Redbeard.
Hello.
Welcome to the table. We all want to touch it. We all want to be over there. Yeah, it's all soft. I know.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty good.
That thing is like, I need a picture to go on my wall. Just the beard. There down.
I'll send you one. I have cutouts with like.
Do you really?
Just the beard, yeah.
Awesome. I can wear it. You know.
There's buttons that exist too, so that's a thing. There's stickers and buttons.
You know you've made it when the beard is branded.
It is.
It is.
It's weird because it's like I don't have a problem with it, but other people are like, man, that's really conceited. And I'm like, it's a brand, so you can't argue that. You can't.
The beard has made it. So we are pirates, I hear. Ladies. So with that in mind, I want each of you to think very carefully. You're gonna get 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You're going to say something in pirate speak. I'm going to throw it to Chris first because he's had this question, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man. You know what? I have not.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, arr, matey. It's my pirate.
No, I mean, I just like roll around town just being like, booty.
Booty. Hey, there you go. Boom.
And that's as pirate as I get. I didn't even name myself Captain Redbeard. So, like, the pirate thing, I'm just like, booty.
Booty. All right. I'm going to throw it over to Robin first. Got you, girl. Go ahead. What's that pirate speak you got?
Arr, matey.
Holly, go ahead. Let me hear it.
Arr.
Ooh, she's got a hook and everything. Right.
It's got the eye. Like, as opposed to the eye patch that just closes one.
Professional. Right here.
I'm throwing it over to Pixie. Give it to me. Come on.
Oh my god, I'm so bad at pirate. Can I do it in form of song?
Oh, if you
I'm
must.
in love with these winches.
Oh, Pixie had to bring it home. All right, with the song. All right, guys in chat, if you really love that pirate speak, you can throw it up on the Vine, put it up on the what's that newfangled thing?
Periscope.
I don't know nothing about that. I have to ask my teenager.
It's fantastic. Like, I get more viewers on Periscope in like 3 minutes than I do on a Twitch stream. It's ridiculous.
Shut the front door.
Yeah,
let me ask a question about this Periscope because I have an Android phone.
You can't.
Am I not? All right. So that's why?
Well,
technology is supposed to be my friend.
It's not out for Android yet. I mean, like most things. Not most things, but like certain things come out on iOS first, and it's eventually going to be on Android because if the application maker wants to make money.
So Periscope people, why are you leaving me out? I want in on the action.
You should write a letter to Mr. Periscope.
I'm going to. I'm going to caps lock Mr. Periscope.
Dear Mr. Periscope, click, 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 click.
We just dated ourselves with that typewriter, man.
Well, I mean, I didn't because what I did was I swiped it both ways as though I don't know what I'm doing with the machines.
My ribbon stuck.
Strategic reasons.
Oh, wow. So you people in chat, thank you for showing up every week. You regulars, you know who you are. We're not going to give you those shout outs quite yet. If you're holding on to that MVP belt, you want to keep it, remember, we are going to be throwing out the hashtag of the evening. And I think I'm going to give that to Robin. Robin, what's the hashtag of the evening for those chat questions?
Why don't we go with hashtag Redbeard?
Hashtag Redbeard. You heard it here, folks. If you've got a question for Mr. Chris or Captain Redbeard, whichever you would like to call him, you need to put a hashtag Redbeard in front of it so we can keep up with you in the chat. If you want to tweet us at Ladies of the Round Table, please use that same hashtag as well. We'll get those chat questions in. We don't get to them. Well, too bad. It's our show. We do what we want.
Just flood the chat with it. Eventually, we'll see it.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually. Don't make producer Ian angry.
Ian, just let it flood it, bud. It's fine. I mean, like, we're going with the pirate theme. Flood the chat.
Flood the chat. So if you don't know who Chris is and you're living under a rock, and I don't know why you're here, if you're here and you just want to hang out, thanks for coming. If you don't know Chris is, check his Twitter. We're going to throw those links up. So Chris, anytime you mention where you're your Twitter, your Facebook, all those social media things, you don't have to spell it, my friend. It'll be in the chat. So Chris is obviously a little bit entangled with a store that sells games, that one that you go to all the time.
Oh, I can talk about it. I mean, like...
No, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I have to go slow with this because, I don't like to name drop, but it's GameStop. We love GameStop. We shop there. Some days we go to another store. Some days we don't. There's times when GameStop and I have a love-hate relationship, just like Steam. There's times where I'm just like, could you get off my wallet? I got a teenager. There's times where I don't want to give my money, but it just gone. And also recently Redbeard TV.
Yes.
Among some other things. Movies, TV. I mean, you're just a social butterfly. So Chris, projects that you have coming up that people don't know about, what would those be?
Well, namely, I've done, and yeah, just the YouTube channel. I've been doing a lot of stuff. Upcoming projects. You guys had Richard Cook on not too long ago. Richard Cook is a fantastic buddy of mine. He's a director and filmmaker, and also he makes video games. He just graduated from Warren Spector's class. He did.
Congratulated him.
Yeah, he's like awesome dude. Made a movie called Pixel Poetry, and man, I could plug that movie like all day long. When we went to PAX South, and he invited me down there, and we were on a panel at PAX South, which was a really cool, awesome experience. And the whole time I'm just like, hey, have you met my friend Richard Cook? Like, it was just a lot of that, because I think he deserves way more recognition for what he did. You can find me there. More importantly, though, it's a fantastic movie. You can find Pixel Poetry on, man, I don't mean to plug stuff early, but it's kind of one of the most significant things.
We had Richard on. We love the movie. We have all watched the movie, and soon to be owning the movie. It's coming to my house. I actually watched it with my daughter, and in turn, we'll be watching it with our first Lego League Robotics team as a group. So they can watch it and learn a few things and see exactly what got me so excited in my youth. Kind of, where they are now, they know nothing about this pixel poetry business. They're like, what is E.T.? What's they're like, so we want to show them and teach those young kids what was cool back in the day. The movie is awesome. I think I've watched it 3 times.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm in that. But as far as like upcoming things, I'm going to be at Dallas Comic-Con with my YouTube channel next weekend. And then we're not going to be there. I was going to do like an after event thing, but Tiff, actually, my fiance, has an art show where her art's being presented. So obviously that's way more of a priority, and that's amazing. So we're gonna jump over and do that. And so so if anybody lives in the Texas area and they're going to Dallas Comic-Con, which is actually really becoming a way bigger deal than it used to be. Like, I remember, like, there's a lot of different convention centers in Dallas and in Irving, and they now have the Dallas Convention Center in which hosts the Comic-Con, and it's gonna be pretty sweet. So I'm gonna be there judging the cosplay contest, and with Mike, my partner in crime, who works on Redbeard TV with me, and we're gonna be doing that.
Awesome. I think that I just have to say, personally, Tiff's art is amazing. I have
Yeah.
so much art envy for people who are that talented. I mean, wow, it just, I can't wait to get my hands on some stuff. I know I was trolling her store the other day, and I'm like, woo, look at that. That's awesome. Woo, look at that. That's, I need that. So it's just amazing. I just, side note, she's wonderful. Check her store out if you haven't checked it out, guys. We'll have her Twitter up and her handles up as well because it's just great.
Yeah, she's got a website. You can buy her artwork and stuff. Yeah, not to plug my wife, but she is pretty awesome. More talented than I am.
So Robin is in your general area.
Yes.
Right. So she may be coming over. You going over to that Dallas Comic-Con?
It's next weekend.
It's next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah.
Oh well. Next weekend I will actually be at the Best Buy for the Nintendo World Championship qualifiers.
Oh yeah.
That's where I will be at. Yeah.
All weekend. I mean, come on.
Hey, I have to get as much practice as I can get before then.
There you go.
She's down for the championship. She cannot be swayed. She's got a vision quest going on.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're gonna get to our guest questions for you. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. I'm gonna go with let's go with Holly. Holly, throw your first question out.
Okay, so first off, before I even ask a question, I need to say that I'm obsessed with the fact that we're both gingers. Pretty much epic. So when I saw that my first day hosting, you were going to be on, I mean, I was excited because it's you, but then I'm like, he's a ginger and we're gingers, so gingers unite tonight. Kind of awesome. Right. Pretty great. So I just wanted to know what you had to say about people that say that GameStop is going to kind of have a fate like Blockbuster. It's kind of, there's been a lot of articles that have come out that have been saying that. And I know I've heard it from people that I talk to as well, just like in the community. And then just like, how do you feel like GameStop is doing and how can it compete with Steam purchases, other things that are coming out that are like Steam, and just with how the whole culture is changing with gamers more staying in and not going out as much?
That's a really good question. Namely, I think GameStop is we're as a company, GameStop is very creative in adapting and getting new businesses, and that's something that we're doing right now. Is we're adapting new businesses. A lot of stores sell contract-free phone service. We're actually own a lot of different companies. As a matter of fact, I believe we're AT&T's largest franchise partner because we own Spring Mobile, which is a lot of AT&T stores. We also own Simply Mac, which is like refurbished Apple products and used Apple products and stuff like that. We have Buy Mytronics. We have like all other kinds of in Cricket. We're also a Cricket partner, so we sell contract-free phone service. As far as things going digital and PC, we have a really great relationship with different PC download companies and stuff like that. And what's funny is, most PC gamers, generally gear to downloading their games, and that's cool. And what's funny is a lot of PC gamers kind of didn't have a reason to shop at GameStop, but we sell Steam wallet cards as well. And if you have games that you're not playing on console, or if you have consoles or electronics that you're not using, people can use that as currency and buy Steam wallet cards. So we can still cater to our PC friends and people who game in that kind of medium. And as far as new gen consoles and stuff like that, and digital sales and things like that, digital sales, and don't totally quote me on this because I could be totally off, but as far as I understand, digital game sales only make up about 2% of the total sales of AAA titles and stuff like that. And something else that's important to remember is that most people who play games aren't necessarily the people who are buying the games. So a lot of GameStop's customers are gifters, are parents, are people who, you know, are buying things for their children, are people who don't even understand what downloadable content is. So like, you know, eventually it's going to get to the point where we're going to be in like a digital realm. But I think a really good example of how we're not really exactly there yet is when, you know, Xbox rolled out their plan for the Xbox One, and they're like, cool, you got to be online all the time, and people are like, no, no way. And they, you know, they changed it and they adapted their business model, because there is a lot of need and desire for you know, pre-owned games and being able to sell your games. And one of the biggest things that, you know, without trying to push like GameStop's agenda or anything, I mean, not only am I an employee of GameStop and I represent them on TV, is that like I totally believe in the way that they treat their business. Is because, you know, me personally as a gamer, it's like I don't necessarily have the $60 every time I want a new game, but I do have old games that I'm done with, and the ability to use those as currency to get new stuff. There's a valuable business there, I think, for a long time.
Fantastic answer. I'm all about GameStop, so every time I see those articles and stuff, I'm like, no, and I don't know anything.
Yeah,
like I don't work there,
like,
so
there's a lot of people who dislike GameStop on the internet simply because a lot of people have a you know, a perception of what maybe their game is worth. So when they come to sell it to us, it might not be what they hit. But that being said, we've actually, like, GameStop has actually like remodeled their trade model, where we don't really offer a lot of like currently right now they're doing a targeted trade thing where they're like, if you have these games, you're going to get a lot of money back, like more than 50% of what you bought it for. I mean, like, I think Mortal Kombat X this weekend, if you were to sell that back to GameStop, you get $38 for it. You know, that's pretty good.
That's a lot in comparison to usual price for, because trust me, my kid only gets games unless she trades in the old ones. So that, as a parent, I was like, I'd be all over that. You want, sure you don't want to trade that in? You ready for a new one? Yeah, I'd be all over that.
So yeah.
I think we have at least one chat question, Pixie.
Yeah. So
There's
we
two.
have been asked
There's two,
if you've ever thought of doing something for charity, where if a certain amount of money is raised, you consider dyeing your beard.
Wow.
Dyeing my beard. I mean, if it was charity and it was a good cause and it was enough money, yeah, I guess. I mean, facial hair grows back, but, you know, that's weird. No, it's never been like approached to me about it, so I don't know.
Well,
if you could pick a color, what color would it be?
A non-profit organization. I may have to take you up on that.
I don't know. It's kind of my namesake. I mean, like, it's kind of like my bread and butter. So, like,
how about a bright
I wouldn't shave it. I don't know. Like, you guys see
Harley? I could see you in like a rainbow beard.
A what?
A rainbow beard.
A rainbow beard. Yeah, like a rainbow beard.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you heard it here. We're doing it.
Oh, that's a commitment now. I've committed to the rainbow beard.
Rainbow beard is going to be hashtag now.
Captain Rainbow Beard. Yeah.
Yeah. Robin, what's the next question?
The other question was from It's Frots. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name right. But it's
Frost, yeah.
And he wanted to know, Redbeard, why are you so awesome? Or
why am I so awesome? It's just my beard mostly. I don't know, like everything behind it is just a facade. It's mostly the beard. I pull my power. It's like, that's why I was worried about the whole like dyeing it. It's like my Samson. If you dye it or change it, it's like I just end up like a sack of potatoes.
You might lose those funky dance moves, you know?
No, I got some sweet dance moves, girl. I'm pretty good. Why I'm so awesome? I thank you. If people think I'm awesome, I don't know. It's very humbling and cool for people to even think that what I do is like, you know, something. I just love being an entertainer. I love, you know, doing YouTube stuff. I love being on GameStop TV. So I think a lot of, and while without like taking like acceptance of being like, yeah, I am awesome. I'm a little awesome. And I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, being humble and being confident and, being able to like never think you're more than what you are, I guess. I don't know.
You know, I have to say that a lot of people come through and sit at the table, and what we see that the fans react to, or the chat, or the general public, the Twitterverse, is the people that are genuine and honest and really themselves. And that's what I think attracts a lot of people to you, Chris, is this is who you are. This is not a facade. This is not an entertainment icon or persona. This is truly who you are as a person. You know, when you're out and about in public and you're talking to people, interviewing people, and interacting with the fans, you're approachable and you're genuinely yourself. So I think that's what makes you awesome.
Oh well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of that does resonate with me, and being genuine is like the number one most important thing. I mean, when I got a gig doing entertainment stuff and television stuff, my number one priority was to remain, you know, who I am. As a matter of fact, the only thing that's really ever upset me in doing what I do, because there's a lot of people who can say negative things, or people who, like, you know, who don't like, you know, seeing me on TV on repeat, or, you know, they're just not into what I do, and that's fine. You know, people can have their opinions, and people on the internet are going to be the first ones to, you know, say those. But the thing that I think really irks me the most is when people approach me, and I've had a couple people and be like, "Man, I remember before you used to do this, man. It's cool," and I'm like, "No, I'm the same person. Like, I don't have any kind of like idea of grandeur, or whoever I am." And it's like, you know, and honestly, man, it's like the most important thing to me. It's like, you know, if I get attention, or I get more exposure, or I become more famous, or whatever the case is, it's like it's awesome, because it's like one hand washes the other, where I'm able to help expose like other people and other artists who, you know, deserve attention. I mean, like you guys, like this is the first podcast or Twitch stream interview thing I've ever been on, and like I'm super humbled, because it's a really, really cool concept, and I love what you guys stand for. And the same thing applies to, like, you know, the movie I'm in with Richard, Pixel Poetry. I'm just blown away with how amazing the movie is. I'm in it for like 4 minutes or something, but it's incredibly humbling because the movie is so good. And I think like people like Richard Cook deserve way more attention than he does, but he's way, way humbler than I am. I mean, he's a very kind of quiet guy, but I'll be that dude for him. I'll be the dude shouting from the rooftops that it's like, people should watch his movie, because if you're into video games and you like looking a little bit deeper into what the concept is, I mean, he made that movie for less than $3,000 and he edited it himself. It's so good.
Awesome.
You can buy it on Netflix, PlayStation, Xbox. I'll keep plugging it.
Keep plugging it. We're good.
But,
You're all right. So
one thing that's annoyed me ever has been people who are like, "Man, you're different than you used to be," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." So.
Unfortunately, as your star rises and as things come up for you and you become more prevalent and we see your face everywhere, you will have the haters and you will have the people that are judging you because they're just a little bit jealous of what you're doing and maybe want to do it as well or have aspirations to do it, but they haven't looked internally at themselves and see what avenues they could take to get to where you are. A lot of people don't understand that where you are and where you've been, there's been a whole line of work that has gone into that. You don't just get to do it overnight, and it is not easy. It's a full-time job. It's blood, sweat, and tears. And again, this is part of the reason why we do what we do at the Roundtable. We bring people on so that people can understand that that's the job. It's not all fun and games. It may look like it, but that's part of who you are as a professional.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to some of these other questions that we have. I know we could be talking about, you know, particular things all day, because thank you so much for the compliment, by the way. For me, I'm going to go with my question. You know, we are a nonprofit organization. Everything we do centers around STEM education, and that's science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEAM, because we're adding art into that as part of the, you know, general curriculum for kids today. And we like to use video games as the springboard of the platform to get kids, young kids, grade school kids, maybe I'd say kids in college as well, if they're interested, really interested and focused on those core educational qualities to propel them into technology fields. And that could be anywhere from a bionuclear physicist to a video game developer, if that's what they choose to do. You know, and we're trying to bring together our two communities, you know, our gaming and technology communities together to help us out. and showing these kids that we care about their future. We want to give them a leg up. We want to show them that this cool stuff, this technology, and these things that are pumped out at them left and right is not just a thing and an item. It's something you can learn from, you can grow from, and you can educate others with. Like your grandparents who have no idea what to do with that smartphone that's not so smart. You know,
Yeah.
you go to your kids or your grandkids and you're like, can you please put this phone number in for me because I don't know what I'm doing. Kids know more about technology today than we ever would have known at their age. And we want them to understand that it's a privilege to have these things in the United States because other countries don't have that. And we want them to learn and take it further than we ever could. So that being said, thanks to the internet, you know, we have a lot of really epic tools nowadays to create diverse games and represent every type of gamer, be it race, color, gender, or creed. And from your personal perspective, being someone in the industry, do you think that our industry, being video games and technology, are using these tools to the best of their ability? And if not, what are some of the suggestions you might have, just from your personal opinion, because you can't speak for a whole company, on maybe how we could do things a little bit better, you know, to set the example?
As far as like how we could apply the technology in different areas, I mean, or just
Different
exactly?
areas in general, as well as, you know, inspiring the younger generation, because obviously if we don't do that, then our community will never grow. The perpetual motion of video games could die out because we don't have the young generation coming up and feeling as inclined or as in love with it as we are. You know what I mean?
I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. The video game industry is bigger than any other entertainment industry on the planet. Um, I think it, you know, without getting too crass, I think in a lot of ways, a lot of numbers like outnumber like the pornography industry. So there is a lot of money and a lot of people being invested, even at a very young age. I think what people have a misconception, and something that I'm very passionate about, is like what gaming is, and
Mhm.
that can be spread across to any kind of medium to technology or you know whatever the case is, or entertainment. But you know, I'm about all kinds of video games. Like I've been playing my 3DS like all the time. The game that I've been playing more probably than anything else is Animal Crossing right now.
Yes.
The game's so awesome.
Animal
Uh,
crack. Yes. Hmm.
that's right. But I also play mobile games. You know, I play games on my Xbox One. I play games on my PS4. I still play games on my 360. You know, and I'm really, really a big fan of classic pinball machines, because you can mimic a classic arcade game well on a computer monitor, on a console or whatever, but you can't mimic the feel of a pinball machine because of the mechanics and all of the moving parts. So I love all kinds of gaming, and I think the message needs to be to kids or anybody getting into any kind of technology, or any kind of, if they're getting into video games as an interest or a profession or whatever the case may be. I think the most important thing to teach them, and this could apply to other questions later on, but I truly believe that there's no such thing as a what's the term I'm looking for? Tips in here eating potato chips.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are really loud potato chips. Yeah, um, there's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. Is the
I would agree with that, but the question was, when you're looking at how we can grow and improve on the diversity of our industry with the tools that we've got Unity, we've got all these amazing things, and we've got Oculus, all these amazing things coming up, and technology is getting bigger and better. But how do we as a community start representing all of us?
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of times, I think it comes down to a lot of quality assurance and PR departments and people who can reach out and discover like gamers with disabilities, and how you can adapt and make games applicable for them, and even games that are going to be uh, more suitable for a wider audience. More importantly, I mean, I really don't like labels. I'm not a big fan of as I feel like as a society, and especially as Americans, like we have to put a label like on everything, and it's like, oh, well, this, if you feel this way or you have this kind of persuasion, you're this now, and it's like, cool, thanks for putting me in your box. But if I had to put a label on what I am and something that I feel very strongly about, I would certainly have to call myself a feminist, because I certainly believe that there needs to be more equality in video games. And I think it's important. And like, Tiff and I have a 5-year-old daughter, and I don't want her growing up in a world where she sees, oh, this is a boy's game, or this is a girl's game, or this is a boy's toy, or this is a girl's toy. I took her to Toys R Us the other day, and she was like, oh, well, I really want a Big Hero 6 like toy, but that's in the boys aisle. I was like, no, there's no such thing as a boys aisle.
A blue and pink aisle.
It's just an aisle. Like, it's what you want. And that's the biggest thing. Is I think people, and I think we're starting to see trends where that's changing, where we're not trying to categorize so many things that fit a certain gender or persuasion, and things need to just be made for people. And once we start seeing that more often, I think we're going to be in a better place. And that being said, when I say things for people, we have to take into consideration all kinds of people. I mean, anybody, people with disabilities, people, of all different genders or persuasions, especially, skin color, whatever the case is. It just needs, things in technology and games need to be made for people. I was watching Hulu, and because we're cable cutters, we don't do TV and stuff. And there's a really good it's a banking commercial, and it's like two moms, and they're adopting a daughter, and they're learning sign language, and they're like, we're your moms. And I'm like, that's really awesome. Like, that's kind of a really cool thing that big corporations and businesses are understanding that it's like, cool, like, these people are families, and we should be catering to everyone. And I think that's a really good thing.
My teenage daughter, who was all of 13, my mini-me, actually brought that commercial to my attention. Because we're cable cutters too, so I wouldn't have seen it, otherwise. And I thought that was pretty awesome that as a 13-year-old, she was like, you've got to see this epic commercial. It's great. So they're doing something very right at that company. We have a Twitter question from Odin Omen.
Odin!
He is asking, what's the wedding date?
The wedding date is August 1st.
Okay. Apologize for the dog.
He's
the
excited.
dog's excited for the wedding.
Dog's like, yes!
So excited. Yeah, August 1st is the wedding date. So
awesome. And
yeah, Tiff tried to push it back till 2016, and I was like,
oh, she's not
ready. That really a thing you want to do? You want to like
dress out?
Now that we're engaged, you want to wait 2 years? And she was like, no.
Oh, now that she's there, she's like, hey, I got some time.
That's right, yeah.
Oh man, so thank you for answering that question very honestly, very openly. I think that again, we all here at the table would love to see a couple companies, and I'm going to be throwing out some challenges to said companies to be one of the first to stand up and take the challenge and represent some other types of gamers. Whether it be someone who is handicapped, colorblind, Asian, or whatever, we want to see those types of things. And I think the first company to do that, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a bumpy road. But I think that there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to support you in that, and that are going to be very thankful that you stood up and you took that challenge. So, we'll see. Hopefully it'll be sooner than later.
I think a really good example is Netflix. When Daredevil came out, like, the first thing people noticed, they were like, well, cool, like, but what about people who are blind and want to watch the show? And they immediately responded. They were like, you're totally right. Like, and so they adapted it. So they made it, applicable for people who are blind to watch and experience the show, because it's a blind superhero. Right. And I like, who is going to be upset about that? It's like, it's just the most minimal effort to put forward to make your entertainment, or to make your technology, or to make whatever more accessible to more people. Like, no one's going to be outraged by that. I think people like Netflix, that was a really solid move on their part. Advertisers, like, it's Wells Fargo, I believe, who made that commercial.
Yes.
And like, it's a bank, and like, you could consider banks like the big evil corporation, but they made a great commercial, man. And that resonated with me. So I'm going to remember that, so.
I'm going to throw it over to Pixie. Pixie, you want to throw out your question?
Yeah, okay. So it's actually a two-parter. If there is anything that you haven't been able to do in the gaming community that you would like to do, what is it?
Oh, that would be shoutcasting like PC games, like League of Legends and things like that. I need to get into that realm. It's crazy. Like, so I'm gonna throw this out there, and I don't want you guys to be pissed. I don't even own a PC. I don't. I don't play PC games. That being said, hold on. Let's stop it. I totally understand the value, and I love it, and it's a realm that I have to get into. As a matter of fact, I certainly believe that, like, with what I do as far as video game hosting, like stuff like Twitch and stuff like, shoutcasting and MLG and, live gaming events, like, that's where I need to be. So I have some friends. There's a LAN center local to where I live. It's called Epic Gaming Lounge, and they're located in Allen. So if you live in the Dallas area, Epic Gaming Lounge, also an awesome place. You don't see a lot of LAN centers around anymore. They're really, really cool. And my owner is a very good friend of mine. And I'm like, dude, I just need to come up and watch people play League because, like, I have no idea. And it's certainly an area where I need to get more educated on. But it was weird. Like, I fell into this awkward time-space continuum where I was never exposed to PC gaming or PCs at all. Like, I grew up and my dad was always an Apple guy, Macintosh, when it was called Macintosh. Like, he had the original Macintosh. And then, like, when Steve Jobs left Apple and they had just really shitty computers for a long time, like, my dad was still with Apple. And then when they brought it back, so all I had at home was, like, those crazy, like, iMacs with, like, the huge backs to them that were, like, colored orange and purple and green and shit.
Yeah.
And my dad never even let me use it. I'm like, what is this mouse? It was like a round cylindrical thing.
It's
It was like a globe you would drag as a mouse, and I would never use it. So I was in high school at the time where we started having computer labs, right? But there was only one, and it was like a field trip to go to the computer lab. It's like, we're gonna go to the computer lab and learn how to make a website. And I was like, sweet. And I went to, like, computer camp one year for summer, and I learned how to make a website. And I just made a Marilyn Manson fan page. That's all I did. Like, I was like, fucking Marilyn Manson is the shit. Throwing up pictures, like clips from songs. And that's all I did. I couldn't even do that now. And that was, like, in 1997. So long answer short, I needed to learn how to get into PC shoutcasting.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
hire me.
Yeah, there you go. Take a picture, screenshot that. That was awesome.
That's right.
Oh man, Robin.
So was there a second part to that question, or did that cover that?
So the second part of this question is, what do you find the most fulfilling about what you do?
To be honest, this month I did some work with Make-A-Wish and GameStop, and we had a Wish kid, and his name is Jared, and you can even look up the commercial, and it's on YouTube. And his wish was to just be on a video game commercial. So GameStop was like, cool, we can make that happen. And they flew him and his brother in, and he did a commercial, and it was cool because I got to be a part of it and introduce him to it. And we use it to, like, kind of introduce the fact that GameStop's doing a fundraising thing, and for Make-A-Wish this month. So if anybody shops at GameStop till now to the end of May, you can, like, even if you round up to the next dollar, like every single penny that you donate, even if it's a penny, goes straight to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And seeing, like, his excitement and being able to hang out with him for the day and, like, just get him amped up to do the commercial and give him the confidence because he wanted to do it. Like, this kid is like, he's a kid after my own heart, man. He's like, I just want to be on commercials and kind of be famous. And I'm like, shit, yeah, dude, that's me too. Like, that's awesome. And I got to hang out with him all day, and we did the commercial, and it airs in all the GameStops, and we're running the program. And the goal was to make $500,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And halfway through the month, we had already raised $780,000. And to me, that's probably one of the most fulfilling things because, like, there's a value associated with a segment that I did, and it's purely for just good. It's not like to make money or whatever. It's to help kids. And that's probably the most satisfying thing I've done so far.
We just put the link for that commercial up in the channel. Ian's going to
there you go.
There. You guys can take a look and watch that. And we've got some chat questions rolling in.
All right.
Yeah. You want to take these, Robin?
Do we have questions?
All right.
Rob.
So the first one, which is really simple, can one of the ladies tell Chris that I miss drinking with him and I plan to get blitzed at his wedding?
Yeah, who asked that?
Is that Mr. Cook?
Yep,
It is.
that was Mr. Cook.
Sneaking up in the channel there.
I love him. Yes,
And-
and I plan on doing that too. Open bar, Richard. Open bar. He better give me a toast. We're gonna have a microphone, so he better if he doesn't break down crying. It's a wasted invite, Richard. It's gonna be the one time he plugs his movie as at my wedding. And he's like, Chris, you've been the greatest friend, and you can go to
We
Pixel
should
Poetry.
all watch Pixel Poetry.
It's gonna be the one time.
Wait, they would be like, watch the screen. It's it's Chris and Pixel Poetry.
That's right.
It's
So-
There's gonna be
This-
just a screen cap for me on the movie.
We're being officially told that he will toast the shit out of you.
So you have another question, Mr. Redbeard. This comes from the chat, the utterly random guy, 1229, and he wants to know, or it could be a she, you never know. This is a two-part question. Not sure if he heard about it, but what do you think about Konami canceling Silent Hills? And Hideo Kojima
Kojima?
leaving Konami.
Yeah, no, it sounds like Konami lost their fucking minds, is what happened. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea, but I'm a huge fan of the Metal Gear franchise, and PT was certainly looking to be, a great game. But yeah, I don't even know. I mean, if I were to relay the events, you couldn't, I can't guess what's going on, but Konami was like, cool, we're going to sever ties with Hideo Kojima, the number one moneymaker for our publishing company. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cancel Silent Hills, which Guillermo del Toro was attached to, which, one of the number one Hollywood filmmakers in the world. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull ourselves from the New York Stock Exchange. And then after that, we're only going to make mobile games. That was their last announcement. We're just making mobile. Nothing wrong with mobile games, of course, but I have no idea what's going on with Konami. I can't say it really upsets me because really, the really only Konami games that I'm really, really into are the Metal Gear series, and all I care about is that my collector's edition of Phantom Pain shows up.
Right?
It better. So
Or right.
I got the one with the replica arm and stuff. So
Yeah, that really sucks because I was really looking forward to playing that game. The last Silent Hill game I think I played was Homecoming on PlayStation 2. And when they made the announcement for that, when I was like, man, I'm gonna buy this game, and then I think I was out working a convention and I'm looking and I'm like, oh my god, what? Canceled? No.
yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing though. It's just because that franchise isn't being made, Hideo Kojima or, Guillermo del Toro, whoever, can go out, they can make another game with another franchise name on it, or it can be a new intellectual property, and it could be pretty much the vision they had, and it's going to be just as good. I think a lot of times we get too attached to intellectual properties and names of franchises where we don't associate them close enough to something that's amazing. That being said, Fatal Frame is coming out for the Wii U this year. That's going to be awesome.
I have to get a Wii U. Oh, it's just going to have to happen.
You should. They're super fun.
Wow. We've got some Twitter questions coming in. I know we've got more chat questions coming, but before we do that, I want to get Robin's question in real quick here because you haven't got one in yet.
All right, so I know there's a lot of new people in the chat, and some people may or may not be familiar with GameStop TV. So I'm going to ask, this is a two-part question actually. How did you get involved with the opportunity to be on GameStop TV? And share with like I said, share with the chat or anyone who is new about what exactly it is that you do.
So GameStop TV is actually the world's largest closed-circuit television programming. So it's inside of all of the GameStops across the country. I think currently we have 4,600 stores in North America. And what happened is every year GameStop has a managers conference where we're sent to wherever they happen to have it. A lot of times it's in Las Vegas. Sometimes it's in San Antonio. And a couple years back, about 4 or 5, probably 5 years back now, they were doing a contest, and they were like, "Cool, if you want to be a new host on GameStop TV, send in a reel and audition." So I did, and I was really hesitant to do it because I'm really not a competitive dude. I only really kind of like enter things or get into things that I know I'm going to win, like a Tony Hawk tournament or something, because I'm really good at Tony Hawk. But my buddy Frankie was like, "Dude, no, you have to enter. Like you're gonna win." And I was like, "Well, you can't say that because there's like 5,000 managers. I don't know if I'm going to win." And there's a lot of stipulations, like you had to be a store manager, you had to be in good standing with the company and stuff like that. But I sent in a video, and there were different tiers of auditioning. Like people could vote after they saw you on the TV via email, and it came down to 4 people going to the conference. And we got there early. It was me and 3 other competitors, and you basically went out and did interviews like on the street, and it was like a running thing through the conferences that it was a competition, and you would text in and text who you wanted to win, and it was me versus 3 other people, and I won. I believe it was in Las Vegas, and so I got the opportunity to do GameStop TV, and what that consists of is if they ever have an event like E3 or Comic Con or things like that where they would send me, I would go and I would do that. And they would send me there. But it just so happens that because I'm local to the corporate office and where they film GameStop TV is like 30 minutes away, they decided to make me part of like kind of operational messaging. So what's funny is like I'm on GameStop TV every single day, but you might not see me if you're a consumer every single day because I do a lot of like operational messages for store managers or employees and things like that. So that's what I've been doing. So I've been going to E3 every year. Unfortunately, I'm not going to E3 this year, which kind of sucks. But I've had so many opportunities to go. It's like you can't really look a gift horse in the mouth. But it's been a lot of fun. And so that's what I do. I do on-site interviews and I do operational messages. And currently, what's running in stores is the Make-A-Wish commercial that I did.
Cool. Thank you so very much for that.
There's a Twitter question from Miranda Blue, who you know who that is. It's asking, is there any chance that you'll be at Dragon Con in Atlanta this year?
Probably not. I don't even know when that is. When is that?
Let me check because it is coming up rather quickly. Ian, I think you know when that is, right? He's got to fix his mic.
Yeah, if it's
first week of September. It's a quick.
Oh yeah,
first week of September.
No. Yeah, that's like right after I'm getting married. I'm not gonna have any money. So it's one of those things where it's like if I were to be sent or if I were to get a job with someone doing it, then I would love to. Like I'm all about going anywhere. I love traveling. But yeah, probably not. So.
All right, so we've answered that one. I think Holly, we'll throw up there your question next. I know this chat is on fire. There's a lot of questions coming in. Go ahead, Holly.
So wait, am I doing a Twitter question?
Sure.
Okay, yay. Okay, so you were just talking about how possibly the Konami bros might bust out, make their own video game studio or company. Do you think that might actually happen?
Absolutely.
They also said with NetherRealm Studios since Midway went bankrupt.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, like Kojima already has Kojima Productions. I mean, like all he would need to do is make that into a publishing company. I mean, like he would just have to front the money and do it. But absolutely, I mean, what would be great is to see like Guillermo del Toro still want to work with him because Guillermo was like, man, Konami basically screwed me for games. I don't think I'm going to do a game because he's been shut down like 2 or 3 times. He's tried to make a couple different games, which is upsetting. But I mean, yeah, it would be a shame to see this as the end of Hideo Kojima's career because that, in my opinion, that dude is a genius. Like he makes a game, and like when Metal Gear Phantom Pain comes out, it's not going to have like really anything to do with any other Metal Gear game. It's going to be its own, kind of new story and stuff like that. But absolutely, I mean, I would think that's probably going to be what's going to happen.
Miranda tweeted, "Oh man, she's devastated, but maybe
it's cool.
Just maybe next year.
Some of us will be at Dragon Con."
Yeah, Yes, well, I will tweet
I
him right now.
am not
like,
Captain
Pixie.
Redbeard, but I will absolutely glue a giant red beard on my face
Wait, yeah.
and
You should
dance
just bring
around if that will
your picture.
entertain you.
Yeah.
I can do the running man. I got this down like so good.
No, yeah, just bring a Redbeard with you and take pictures, and then tweet it on the Ladies of the Round, on the Twitter box.
All right.
It's
I'm
Twitter
letting her know
box.
that you will be there and you'll be bringing your red beard. You're just going to hook it on, because there is such a thing. You can just.
There is.
Right.
What's so weird is people are always like sending me like links to like fake knitted beards, and I'm like, why are you sending me this? Like I have a real beard. Why would I wear a fake beard over my real beard? Like that's cool for you, someone who sent this to me on Facebook who can't grow a beard, but I can. So it's always confusing to me when people are like, hey, you have a beard, so you should like this. And I'm like, well, I like people who can grow beards more.
I had the best idea. Okay, I'm gonna make you something and I'm gonna send it to you, and it's gonna be a quilted beard snuggie.
Why would I need a beard snuggie? My beard is my face snuggie. It's on me all
Yeah,
the
but
time.
your beard needs a snuggie of its own. It's too busy keeping you warm to keep itself warm.
I'm bald.
Exactly.
I
You need your own blanket. Your beard need its own blanket.
I don't need. My beard doesn't need a blanket. My face has a beard. It's already on my face. It's a beard blanket.
Guys, it's a moot point. We're a bunch of women telling a man what he needs to do with a beard. Ladies, we're out of our element here. Just let it go.
I wasn't
Alright,
going to say anything, but you, that's fine.
I listen.
My face is quite warm and snuggy. Thank you, ladies.
Are you telling me that this beard doesn't count for, having an opinion?
No, compared to that beard, you're
It's
an
an invisible
amateur.
beard, but it exists.
You can have an opinion, but when it comes to keeping my face warm, my beard does all the talking. Boom.
Boom, he's done.
God,
All that.
framed it.
And we are gonna roll into our hot topics for the week. But that beard just threw me off. Whew.
I know,
Okay,
right?
so I'm gonna go with Pixie. We're gonna go in order, producer Ian. We're going Pixie first.
Okay, so this is gonna be super quick. Really easy topic, but TwitchCon. Yeah or nay? As you guys know, TwitchCon. I have lots of hairs. What are you talking about, MilSpy? Gosh darn it. Okay. Anyways, so as you guys know, TwitchCon, it's happening out in California. It's gonna be a chance for Twitch streamers and different Twitch communities to get together, hang out, play together. There are gonna be panels and stuff. I am kind of torn on what I actually think of this. On one hand, I think it's kind of an awesome idea because you get together and hang out with people, that and your fans. And I think that's great. I think that's really good for fostering senses of community. But I also kind of hate it.
Okay.
And I kind of hate it because I think it's more fun to go and meet people in zones that they know. Going to Dragon Con and meeting your fans who live in that area and who go to Dragon Con at Dragon Con, or going to New York Comic Con, because then I think you get a better sense of who these people are and you get to interact in a much different way.
Okay. It's an interesting outlook on it. Let's throw it over to Chris. What do you think? TwitchCon, yay or nay?
Well, I would say yay. When I was at PAX South, Twitch had a booth there, and I would argue that it was the reason to go to PAX South. That and the Gearbox, they had a whole wing. So Gearbox they have a community day like every year. Normally they do it in Dallas, but because PAX South was happening, they did it there. And so that was awesome. But like Twitch had such a presence, and I think I feel like Twitch is the future. Like it is. And so they should start now, because I think if they started next year, it would be too late. Like they're on the cusp. I mean, we're on Twitch. We have all these people watching. We're doing this. It's like it's so multifaceted with gaming, entertainment, art. It can be whatever you want it to be because you're streaming. It's a real-time YouTube, but better. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. Not only that, but for the people who have made a career being on Twitch, you know, man, it's kind of cool for them to be able to, like, you know, get a little bit of exposure. I wish I was more popular on Twitch. Like, but when I'm playing games by myself, I am not that funny. I'm better in this setting, but I'm like, if I'm playing like Assassin's Creed, I'm just like, I'm really good at this game. Watch me be good at this game. So I'm not good at it, but I think it'd be cool. I mean, I think it's a really good exposure for the people who are kind of like Twitch superstars, so long as they're not pieces of shit. Don't give them their money if they're pieces of shit.
Well said. Well said. Well, that's a great segue for you, Holly.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. So I'm a big nay on the TwitchCon. And I'm someone that, you know, was quite successful at streaming and was making a good amount of money from streaming. I just don't personally care for the direction that Twitch has gone in, especially for females. Just not really a fan of it. So I think I definitely agree that, like, if it was a time for them to do it, like, definitely start this year. Like, I totally see where they are going with it from a business standpoint, strategy. Totally get it. I'm just not a Twitch fan. And I'm just going to end it right there before I say more.
All right. So this is a good time for me to throw out the disclaimer for the company. If you didn't see it before we started running the show, all opinions of the hosts and the guests are not the opinions of the company and the nonprofit advocacy that we do. They are the personal opinions of the ladies and gentlemen at the table. That being said, Robin, TwitchCon, yay or nay?
I have to say yay, just for the simple fact, you know, like, it gives the fans an opportunity to meet their favorite, you know, Twitch streamers, and as well as, you know, a chance for networking, you know, doing collaboration. So I see benefiting from TwitchCon as a positive and more as of a networking atmosphere, and, you know, to kind of bring all the streamers together and, you know, future streamers. So yay.
Oh, we have divided table. For me personally, I think that it's the perfect time for Twitch to go ahead and step out and do this. They've made a lot of forward momentum over the last couple of years as a company, and a lot of growth internally. They're looking at doing some things and changing some things to make it better for individuals to stream, whether they're male or female. I think that in itself is going to take some time. We as women who have been streaming on this channel have had our fair share of trolls and things going on, and I have found that Twitch has given me support if I needed it. I'm not saying that it's the best support that they could have done, but I have had answers to my emails and my questions, so I don't have a bad taste in my mouth. As any convention being the first year, I'm going to wait and see what goes on and see how this shakes out before I give my opinion. Not being there and boots on the ground, because I won't be able to go this year, I'm going to wait and see what, you know, it's going to be obviously live streamed, right? We're going to be able to see a lot of it from here.
I sure hope so.
Watch, hopefully, yeah. Now, if they were to turn around and say, oh, but you have to pay us a subscription fee to be able to watch, then I might be upset, because, right, any other time we don't have to do that. We can watch anything on Twitch. So, I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air on it. I'm like Pixie. It's wait and see kind of thing. A lot of people have decided they're going in our community, are very excited about it. Can't wait to see what goes on. I think that there's a great opportunity for companies like Twitch to do something in a charitable manner, to be working with some groups out there that really need the boost and could really use that spotlight for some of the good things that they're doing. Twitch, if you're hearing that, there's Operation Supply Drop. Lots of people out there that really could use the platform for something great. All right, so I think that concludes that topic. That was quick and easy. That's a cute dog.
Yeah.
So my dog's going to start barking because my dog sees your dog. It's going to be a, you know, dogs playing pool kind of situation going on over here. Who's Robin? Robin's next.
All right. So real quick before I go off into my topic, there was a question in the chat that was asking, will the ladies of the round table be at TwitchCon so I can meet you all?
Well, so far we have Kim, which is Reality TX, who's going to TwitchCon out of all of us. You know, as you guys know, we are a nonprofit organization. We run solely on donations. There is no revenue stream for us. The donations that we get generally go towards our scholarship foundation. The sponsors that we work with are promotional sponsors at this point, you know, but who knows, in our growth and our time in the next, maybe next 2015, we'll do a panel or we'll be able to come and meet you guys because we always keep you abreast on our website of where we're going to be. Dragon Con, Pixie will be there. Unfortunately, I will not be at E3 this year myself, but I will be at Indie PopCon. I think Pixie may be going with me.
Yes.
Robin, where are you going to be in the next couple of months?
What dates?
Well, pick a convention. Anyone you're going to be at, love.
Let's see. Well, July 24th through the 26th, I will be at Space City Comic Con in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And in September, I think I'm going to a trade show at the GameStop Expo. Actually, I think we're going to that. And that's all for now until somebody's like, hey, you know, book us, you know, until somebody books me or say, hey, let's go do this.
You're going to be at the GameStop Expo in Vegas?
Yes.
I'll be there. So will
Uh-oh.
Tiff. So we're going to get to have our dance off, right?
No, it's on. I mean, it's in Vegas, so it's going to be ridiculous. Like, I'm very good at going to Las Vegas. I'm like a pro now.
Now listen, if it does not go on the Twitter or the Vine, it didn't happen. So the rest of us will see that dance off.
We'll Periscope it so you can't watch it.
Oh, damn it.
And proceed to the brain for the bad.
But by then I'm sure like Periscope will be on Android. But no, yeah, we're gonna do it. We'll be there. Tiff,
You heard it first. You heard it here.
So she'll already be sick of me. So
Dance off.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hold it to you.
no, absolutely. Like we'll like if there is any one spot that I'm well known at, it's the GameStop Managers Expo, and it is so much fun. Like the managers there are so amazing, they're so welcoming, and people are always like, what's funny is like people always like walk up to me and they're like, oh man, it must be getting old like having people walk up to you, and I'm like, no way, man, like people already like me. That's like half the battle. Like if you like me, then I like you. Like awesome.
And it's Vegas.
All right, so let me go ahead and get off into my segment. Like I said, I'm gonna hold you to it. So, as you guys all know, E3 is right around the corner. It's like a few weeks away. So let's talk about E3. E3 is going to be June 16th through the 18th. But as well, as you guys know, like there's a lot of pre-interviews and showcases like that. So like June 14th. Bethesda is going to be doing their interview at 7 p.m. Pacific time. June 15th, Xbox, 9:30 a.m. Electronic Arts, 1 p.m. Ubisoft, 3 p.m. PlayStation, 6 p.m. And all this is Pacific Standard Time. And June 16th, Nintendo, 9 a.m. And I'm assuming they're going to do it from their Nintendo Direct, as well as Square Enix is going to be doing their own little aside from PlayStation, so they will be doing that at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time as well. So with that being said, start with our lovely guest, Mr. Redbeard. So what games are you excited to see, as well as what new IPs do you think that they're going to announce?
I'm very excited for Bethesda having their own keynote. I think that'll be awesome. I'm really wondering what Sony is going to do because, like, Uncharted 4 is next year. Like, are they going to, like, announce, like, what Project Morpheus is going to be? Because, like, a lot of stuff from Project Morpheus is coming. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for Ark, but it's, like, it was, like, a dinosaur game. And what a lot of people didn't notice was that's a Project Morpheus Oculus Rift game. And really excited about that. But I don't know what they're going to announce. Like, Sony has to have something. They have to have either an HD remake. I mean, God of War 3, I don't think is enough. Like, God of War 3 looked great on the PlayStation 3, but I don't really care to play it again. So they're gonna need to have something. Bethesda, if I had to guess, I mean they put that Doom beta in Wolfenstein, so maybe they'll announce when that's gonna happen. They had that little teaser snippet from what Doom looks like. I was at QuakeCon last year, and I saw Doom, and so I know what Doom looks like, and it's awesome. And so I think it's going to be time for the world to see what that is. If I had to guess, Fallout 4 from Bethesda. I want to see more Assassin's Creed Syndicate by Ubisoft because
Really?
love Assassin's Creed. I love Unity, even though everyone hates how awful it was when it came out. Nintendo crushed it last year. I mean, they don't have a keynote, but what they do is they have their games. So if they bring Star Fox and they bring their new Legend of Zelda game, they're going to crush it, especially if they have it playable. My guess is, because they've kind of pushed Zelda to next year, my guess is that the new Zelda game is going to come out on the Wii U and the successor to the Wii U. I believe the Wii U cycle is very, very short because Nintendo's already been like, yeah, we're working on something new. So I think that's going to be a thing. So as long as Nintendo brings playable demos, they're going to win it again. I played Splatoon last year, and that was the most fun I had at E3. I played it with Scott Patterson. Me and him played Splatoon against each other, and like, it was awesome. We were like, this is so fun. And it reminded me why Nintendo's so good at IPs. And then, Microsoft, hopefully they come out with more Halo 5 footage. I would imagine that they're going to have like a lot of Halo 5 stuff, since that's going to like bring it home. But yeah, that's kind of my predictions.
All right, cool. So like, before I give the floor off to Ms. Charvesta, what I am looking forward to personally is the Division. You know, because I play a lot of shooting games.
I mean, Ubisoft has to give a date for that. That's going to be.
I know, right? Like, I'm so.
That and Rainbow Six Siege.
Division, hurry up.
Yeah.
Please, people, work on this game. Harry, please. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the Division. The Gears of War, the new Gears of War that's coming out, and really just all of them. Really, like I literally play everything now. I can say that now officially since I just started playing PC games. But I would say the Division.
I didn't come over to your house. We need to get on the key and mouse.
Come on over. We have everything. We have everything over here except Xbox One.
We have two. So you can come over to our place and play some Master Chief Collection.
I'm gonna get crushed in it. So so what do you think, Carmen? What games are you excited to see? What new IPs do you think they're gonna announce?
I played Splatoon last year as well, and I really needed a Wii U in my life specifically for that game and that game alone. That game is awesome, and it just brought back so many memories of why I enjoyed games as a kid, and it was like I can play this and get away with it and have so much fun and not have my teenager think I'm, such a lame mother because we were just playing that game and having a good time. I think Nintendo voice chat is going to be something interesting to see how that evolves, see what's coming with that, see if it's going to be any competition for Curse. Curse has got their voice chat out too. Gravity Rush, anybody looking at that to see how that's going to play? I mean, Sony, nothing. We keep getting little tidbits. And the Gears of War, or Gods of War 2 is, I mean, there's lots to see, and it's going to be hard for me as a consumer, not being there, to be like, which channel should I watch? What time is it? Is this on? To try to keep up with all that noise and all the media stuff coming out. But there'll be people that are there and people that we are used to watching that are going to be throwing out some good fundamental facts, for us gamers, instead of just the regular, your whatever your news channel is. Oh, E3 today, and then they just blow past everything that we want to know. So,
right.
There's
like Gears of War, Halo 5, Forza Motorsport 6, like Tomb Raider. Like I'm looking for all of these things, and honestly, I don't give a shit if it's at E3 or not. I just want more Overwatch content.
Yeah. Overwatch is.
It's like the holy grail of games. I want it so bad.
I can't even say anything about Overwatch, man. I was just sucked in with the. Dude, Ian knows. Ian and I, we have so much Overwatch conversation that. But we're PC gamers, so.
Yeah.
What am I gonna say? Master Race.
Overwatch
Ian, you got
is
predictions?
amazing.
I hear you.
There it is. There it is.
There it is. It's thrown down.
Night.
Yeah, Ian, I see that.
My predictions? Well, let's see. We'll start off with Sony. Obviously, we're going to get another Uncharted 4 demo. I think Guerrilla's going to finally reveal their RPG. The Ratchet and Clank update for PS4.
Watch Dogs.
The Ben Studio is finally going to demonstrate their title. I think we're going to finally see a trailer for Rhyme. See gameplay from The Witness. And obviously Microsoft, I think we're definitely going to get Halo 5. Probably a full game demo this time. Obviously they're going to rant and rave about their 18-month exclusive of Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Is it 18 months?
Yeah, it's 18 months.
Holy crap. They get it for over a year?
Yes.
Man, that's
Wow.
going to be choppy as hell.
Obviously, new Gears of War. It's about
Well,
time
you
for one of
think
those.
Here's a War. Do you think it's going to be like the HD remake that's been leaked?
I think it's either going to be a remake or they're going to make it seem like a remake. It's going to be a new game. They're going to tease it as like... It all depends on, you know, what they're planning to do with that studio. Because it really needs a new game at this
life
point.
into that.
Yeah, it really needs a new game at this point and not a reboot.
Well, Black Tusk is working on a new one.
Yeah.
But
obviously, we're going to see a better demo of Quantum Break. Supposedly, they've reworked a lot of stuff in that game. Forza, they show that every year.
I'll give you one more, Ian, then we're pushing it over to Holly.
Nintendo, like what I talked about in chat, I think Zelda is going to be an NX launch title and not be on the Wii U.
Think?
Well, I think they was held back for technology reasons. The scale they want that game to be. I think it was held back for the NX and the more powerful system. Then you got the obvious stuff. You know, we're gonna see the usual stuff come out of EA. Another rehash, Need for Speed. And we're gonna.
That's it for you.
Huh?
They announced that today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're gonna show it off though.
Yeah, they
finally.
rebooted it, and it's not called. What is it called?
And
It's called Need for Speed.
yeah, and sadly, I'm sure they're gonna show us the atrocity that they're gonna make out of Star Wars Battlefront.
I have faith.
Oh no.
I don't have faith.
No.
I have faith.
When it comes to EA and DICE type titles, I have no faith anymore.
EA, use the Force!
The Force is with you, EA.
Oh, I'm hoping to hear a Siege release date finally for Ubisoft.
All right, Ian, your timer's up, dude.
Okay, I got two more.
No,
Come on.
you just got muled! Get off!
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna use the restroom and I'm
Right?
he's done. Watch.
Yeah.
What about you, Holly? And what games are you excited to see and new IPs announced and where you think is going to be?
Well,
And as
since
well as you
everyone's-
guys in the chat, like tell us what you guys is excited to see at the
Hashtag
E3.
Battlefront
Battlefront equals Battlefield.
fail. I saw that.
Well, I'm pretty sure
uh,
everyone named like pretty much every single game is
Everything,
going to be at E3. So what I'm going to say is I'm just looking for some PC games that are actually going to be finished and not partially finished. I'm getting pretty sick of companies putting out games that are not finished. And it's very obvious they're not finished. You know, they feel finished till you get to the end of the game. I think Dying Light's a perfect example of this. Like the end was just so rushed. So I want a game, whatever company, whatever games. I really want the PC games to be quality, to be lots of options for controls. Especially as a left-handed gamer, it's hard for me with controls. And I just want a game that I can play for a good amount of time and not have to buy a DLC for like $30 to play for another hour. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, regardless of what game comes out. Let's just finish those PC games before you release them, please.
I have to say that Holly's fitting right into the table because we bring this topic up at least once a show.
And no more crappy ports from your freaking consoles. Do it on the damn PC.
Wow. So, Chris, what you missed is Holly's tired of those unfinished games. Whatever studio, whatever publisher, she's just like, finish it. We'll wait for it. We just don't want a broken, unfinished game. And it seems to be one of the running themes of the conversation that we have almost every table, every show with the guests. What's your opinion on that?
Well, what's funny is I think what came to a head was last year when Assassin's Creed Unity and the Master Chief Collection came out the same day, and neither of them were really finished. And I have to preface this: I'm a huge fan of both of those franchises. I love both of them. I've been playing both. I'm still playing both of those games. But that being said, when they came out, yeah, they weren't done. And what's funny is when CD Projekt Red came out like a week later, and they were like, "Ooh, The Witcher's going to go ahead and come out in May." And everyone was like, "That's all right. That's okay. That's fine." And it was like no one had a problem with it. It was the first time that no one has had an issue with a game being delayed. And I think the problem that, developers have is that they have a publisher who has timelines, and they're like, you need to make the game and be done with it by this point. And every development team wants to make the best and bigger game that they can. And so a lot of times they have to either pull back or release unfinished stuff, which is really unfortunate. And it would make more sense if that didn't happen, ever, of course. But in the case of CD Projekt Red, everyone was like, no, that's cool, because like the fans of that franchise are like, we want a finished game. And it came out this week, and there's already been 2 patches, because it's pretty rough on at least on the console, and it was rough on the PC as well. And then they're already at like 1.03 patch for that, because it was like the frame rate wasn't perfect. I don't think that's gonna stop. I mean, I think with how advanced we are with PC, with the new gen consoles, with everything, there's so much more to take in. A really good example of consumer disappointment would be Batman Arkham Knight, when that was never dated. No one ever like Rocksteady and Warner Brothers never dated that game. And then when they finally did, they were like, well, it's going to come out in June. And everyone's like, oh man, that game's being pushed back. And it was like, no, it's not. They never announced the date. Like a date was never set. And they knew that they needed that much time. I feel with the technology and how advanced everything's starting to get, that for the first couple months or the first couple years of a new cycle, it takes a little bit more. But no, I totally agree though. Like, I'd way rather have like finished games come out and be finished. But I don't know. It's hard, because it's like, it's as a consumer, as a fan of the franchise, and it's as someone who also knows and communicates a lot and talks in interviews with publishers and developers, like, I get both sides. And while it's not okay never to to release like an unfinished product, a lot of conjecture on the part of a consumer before a game is out is kind of unfair. I don't know.
We've talked about that where there is 2 sides of the coin, considering, like you said, that there's the publisher, there's the studio, and no one that's probably, and I am not a developer, so I wouldn't say, but I would say it's safe to say that everyone working on that particular game wants to put out the best product in the best quality, because that is their art, their work. So no one wants to put out an unfinished game or an inferior game. However, deadlines, budgets, all those things have to be met, and sometimes you get what you get. Unfortunately, we
And
all
because
hate the patches.
I feel like the the outcries and the fury of pushing a game back is a lot of time outweighed by people being disappointed by a glitchy game at launch. And that's the problem. Is that, people are like publishers are like, we cannot push this game back because the internet will freak out.
Right,
As
Twitter.
opposed to like releasing and selling the game, and it's like, like I believe it's like 75% of the profit of a new title is made in the first 48 hours that it comes out. So after the first 48 hours, they're kind of like, yeah, it really sucks that we got bad reviews, but the game's out. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably the mindset behind these big publishers. I don't mean to be like the devil's advocate for a publisher, but that's probably where that happens, where that line is drawn.
And that makes sense. I think the hardest thing, like as a PC professional, like that's what I'm known for is PC games. And that's like what I've done for 13 years now. I feel like a lot of the times the console ones they've spent a lot of time on it, and then they release the PC one and it's rushed. And that's kind of the problem that I have. And there's a lot of companies that are like infamous for this. I don't want to name any companies, but there's a couple that are very infamous for this. And it's like, everyone loves your console version. It's great. Everyone's digging it. Then you bring it out on PC, and I can't even change the directional keys of how I walk. Like, and I've been waiting for this game for 2 years, and and your game's $50. Like, I think that's crap. Like, if you're gonna release your game for PC, then release it so it's playable, or just keep it for the consoles. It's kind of how I feel as a PC girl.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you don't have to buy those games anymore. It's like you vote with your money, and you could argue that like all games are PC games when they're development, because all games are developed on PCs. So like everything is adapted for console, and so when it comes out, I mean, a good example is The Witcher. Like The Witcher is unique because it was developed on a PC to be optimized to be played on a PC, and it's beautiful on the PC. IGN has a really great video where you can watch how it looks on PC to PS4 to Xbox One, and it's beautiful on the PC. I mean, the frame rate, everything, it's great. Because of course, if you have the money to put into a PC, it's going to look the best. And it was made on a PC, but they did have the mindset of being like, we want to, release this on console as well. So we have to kind of minimize menus and stuff like that. But I think the part that you're upset about, as far as like, dedicating keys and stuff like that. That's the same thing with like a lot of like, console consumers is you can't, change the layout, or they're already predetermined and you can select whichever default settings you want and you can't optimize them. And that's kind of been a thing that hasn't been around for a while, which is frustrating as well.
Mm-hmm. I think it's safe to say that no matter what we do, as a gamer, there's always going to be, especially when you're porting over from one to the other, somebody's going to be upset. It's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be the consumer issue. But to have the huge, Assassin's Creed, that mess was a mess. That was something above and beyond what we're talking right now. But I can't believe you're still playing.
I am. Can I touch on that for a second? Because I can. Okay. So the thing about Assassin's Creed Unity, and when Ubisoft just announced Syndicate, which is their new title coming out this year, it was really refreshing because they owned it on their announcement. The day of the announcement, if you can go and watch, and they're talking about, the games they've made from 1 until 4, and they're like, we love the series and where it's been, and then they talk about Unity, and then they start flashing up reviews on the screen, and they're like, it was rough because the game was not done.
True that.
And they owned it. I
saw that, yeah.
And what was great about Unity, though, from someone who's played it from when it was totally broken until now, is they never gave up on it. They kept patching it, like they kept fixing it. And it's totally unfortunate because the game wasn't ready to come out. I totally agree with that. I can't argue that. But there is a redeeming factor from Ubisoft's standpoint, from the fact that like they did not give up on their game. Like that game, now, if you were to buy it, you're going to download a 9 gig update, but it works and it's beautiful.
Are you upset that they're taking out the co-op?
Absolutely. So frustrating. Yeah. But I understand it because that was so ambitious to have this huge, beautiful, new gen open world that they've never built. You can go into 25% of the buildings in Unity, and they've never done that before. So it's always like, oh, this is a building, and you can climb up it and go down the other side, but you could never run through them. And in Unity, you can run through most of the buildings, or at least a quarter of them. And so taking out the co-op, I understand, but they put so much investment into it, and I put so much investment into it. It's kind of a bummer that they take it out, but that's not to say that like once they get a little more comfortable and people are more bought in, there's going to be another game in 2016. So all I got to do is wait a year, and that's what's great about the Assassin's Creed franchise.
And trade. You know, you could trade. You know, if you really want to get it, you know, you're going to be done with Witcher by then. Maybe, you know, I know you've been playing for a while Assassin's Creed. I don't know if you'll be done with Witcher by then, but there's always that option to trade up, guys. You know, do what we do. No new games coming to this house until you take the other ones back and trade those in. I want to get into Holly's topic because I find it very interesting. Holly's topic. And then we're going to be rounding out the end of the show. So, Holly, go ahead and throw up your topic there.
So what I'm going to talk about today, which is actually perfect because you just asked about the co-op feature, Assassin's Creed. So perfect timing. Co-op PC games are really breaking my heart lately. My best friend and I, we play any co-op PC game we can get our hands on. And I decided to tweet out to the Co-Optimus guys and just tell them that I think a lot of their games that they have marked co-op, I don't feel like are co-op. And what ended up happening is we're going back and forth with like Twitter discussions on, well, what their definition is of a co-op game. And I think what it ended up coming to was just like my friend and I, our feelings on co-op was just not what they felt co-op was. So like a great example is like Diablo 3. They consider Diablo 3 a co-op. Can you play with other people? Yes. I played through Diablo 3. I was up waiting for it to be released with my husband. So like, yeah, you can play with other people. But what I'm talking is a co-op campaign game that I can play with a friend for more than 6 hours. And there are not a lot of those games. And the ones that are out there, I guarantee you're not going to be able to name one that we haven't played. We've literally got our hands on everything. And so many companies now and games, they're doing away with co-op. Oh my gosh, I'm going to totally blank on the name right now. There was a third one and now there's a fourth one out. I don't even know what it is because we couldn't even play it. Far Cry? Far Cry, right?
Yeah. But yeah. Far Cry's co-op is not really co-op.
But Far Cry 3, at least we could play together for more than
Army
2
of
hours.
Someone's throwing out in the
like
chat.
That is complete horse crap. Like I don't understand like this whole mentality of, okay, let's get rid of all the LAN centers and let's make it so you can't play a game with one friend. Like, can I at least be social in my life on games? I mean, I just think it's absolutely absurd. And I mean, right now we're just waiting for the next Saints Row. Saints Row is like so boss and their co-op is so good. And it's so quality. And then we just played through Dying Light, which was great. And it was 30 hours, guys. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Where are the co-op games? So my question for you guys is, what is co-op to you and why? So we're going to start with Robin.
Well, when I think about co-op games and the games that is associated with as a real co-op game, as you just explained, Holly, you know, the games that comes to my mind are games like, you know, the Halo series, the Gears of War, where you're actually campaign together with your friends. And, you know, you just basically having a good time, getting lost in hours on end. Like, that's my definition of a, you know, of a co-op game to me, in my opinion. And basically pretty much you've explained it all right there. Like, co-op is gaming with your friends through the campaign. It's not multiplayer. Multiplayer is completely
Amen.
That is straight up. I'm gonna get on the internet and play with a bunch of random people. And a lot of times you're not able really to make, in some multiplayer games, you're not able to make a fire team or a private room to play with your friends in a lot of these games. So yeah,
and it's like, are they going? I feel like they're screwing it. I don't know. I'm just so passionate about this because we're like defaulting to multiplayer games because there's no more co-op games that we can play. There's no co-op campaign games. And like their ideas for us were games that have like three little missions you can play. That is not a co-op game. Is Counter-Strike a co-op game? No, it's multiplayer. Online is not co-op.
Chris.
Oh no, I agree. Like I'm very passionate about it too. My favorite kind of games are co-op because, as I said before, I'm not a super competitive dude. Like the only competitive multiplayer I like is stuff by Bungie, like Halo, and I really like the co-op stuff on Destiny, which is unique because Destiny is co-op and it's competitive multiplayer. And a lot of my friends who love the co-op aspect of Destiny hate the competitive multiplayer. And it's funny because I'm like, cool, you can do like a night strike and get killed 80 times by like the AI, but if a real person kills you, that's driving you out of control. Like you're insane about it. And but Destiny is a really good co-op game. But what a co-op game is to me, of course, is something that I can play against the game with my friends cooperatively. And those are my favorite kinds of games. The ones I'm looking forward to coming out that I have pre-ordered are like Lego Jurassic World is co-op. And I'm still playing Borderlands: The Handsome Collection. That's co-op. Halo 1 through 4 is co-op. Tiff and I are playing through Halo 2 right now. Halo 4 was the first game that we played together on Legendary. We beat Halo 4, right? Yeah, she's really terrible at driving the Warthog, so I have to be the one that does it. So I'll drive into an area and then back up and let our shields heal. And so I love that. I mean, like it's really fun playing co-op games like that. And there are a lot of co-op games, but you have to like I don't know, just play console games, I guess.
That's the answer. Just play console.
No, I mean, but the Assassin's Creed Unity co-op is really good too. But it's a separate part of the game. But it's better than almost the campaign because that's where like of the story is.
The best part is we played through the single player part to get to where we could play co-op together, and she has a $3,000 PC and it couldn't even run Assassin's Creed. Makes no sense, right?
My console played it just fine.
Yeah, I mean, it was working on my PC, but it was not working on her PC, and she has a high-dollar PC. And so we finally played through the single player together so we could play the co-op together, and then couldn't play the co-op together. So
sounds like a PC problem, not a co-op problem.
Sounds like, I was going to say, sounds like a PC problem. Pixie, what about you over there?
Okay, so for me, this is kind of where like lines are blurred because for me, co-op is anything that I can play cooperatively with other people. Now, they have to be my friends. Now, because I live in a small little box that I like to call a bedroom and pretty much don't ever leave, like all of my friends are on the internet. So for me, League of Legends, like playing League is me playing a co-op game. For me, playing Infinite Crisis is me playing a co-op game because these are all of my friends and we're playing cooperatively together. For other people, it would be considered a multiplayer, but because I have the ability to determine who I play with at any given time and can make my own 5-man group, and these are all of my friends, for me, that's co-op. So I think the problem with co-op in a lot of ways is how you define it personally. One of the things that I have noticed, though, about games with co-op is local player co-op. And this really irks me because I love to play games like Lego. I love the Lego games. I love playing them. They're the best. But, like, you can only play locally, so somebody has to be here for me to play this game cooperatively. And it just makes me so mad because, like, who am I gonna... I mean, I have tons of friends in the form of stuffed animals, but they're really shitty at button mashing. Like...
You're just taking them and smashing them against, like...
Yeah, like, I mean...
Get better, Batman!
I find that obnoxious when it comes to, like, playing co-op games.
You know, I would agree. For me, and especially with having a tween or teen, in the house, I can be selective on who she co-ops with, right? She doesn't have any choice but to co-op with me because that's the rule. Now, if I wanted to play with Pixie or wanted to play with Holly, then we could do that. But I do feel that me on my account, if I wanted to play specifically with Holly and play through the campaign, I should be able to have the ability to do that as well. However, all things not being created equal, you get some, you win some, you lose some. It's like apples and oranges. It's the console versus PC. We're always going to have this issue, unfortunately. You either buy the game or you don't buy the game. I mean, that's where we're at, right? Do I spend my money on it? We do have the ability now to rent games, right? We do have that ability to get them for a limited time playthrough, so you don't have to pay the $60, and then you can see if you like it, if you want to go get it, or if it will work, on your console. I don't think we have the ability to rent them for PC quite yet. Wondering if that might come in the future where I can get it for a limited time only, download it, and play till my heart's content, and then it just disappears, kind of like the Netflix type deal. For me, I don't do a lot of console playing. Me and the controller are not friends. There's a lot of fighting going on, and I'm not a winner. I'm just like, what's these buttons? There's things on the back of it. I'm like, and my kid's like, push the L. What? I'm like, this one? Is this?
That's how
and
I am
I'm
with
dead.
PC. I'm just like, yeah.
She ends up taking the controller.
Ignorant, admittedly.
I'm ignorant with that thing. And then, the kid is an FPS wizard. She ends up sitting on me and doing things that are inappropriate. I'm like, how'd you learn that? You shouldn't be playing these games. These are the grown-ups. Shooters. I'm good with the Borderlands. The Halo, not so much. Gears of War, awful. And as you know, Pixie, the MOBAs, it's just a work in progress. I'll just stick to my MMOs. I'm good.
That's why you need a Wii U and pick up Splatoon, because that is a MOBA and it's so good. And if you want couch co-op, you get a Wii U.
But see, those games to me feel like multiplayer online, not co-op. I want co-op campaign games, and people are not making them anymore.
I think they do feel like multiplayer if you're not playing with an entire group of your friends.
Yeah, I'm known for Counter-Strike, so I was playing 5 versus 5 for 12 years in tournaments all around, and that to me is not co-op. That to me is a multiplayer game. Co-op is me sitting down and playing through Dead Space for 8 hours with one friend and getting to learn a story together, like going to the library and reading a book together.
Dead Space 3 was great.
It's totally different.
So I totally agree with you, Holly, because explaining to people or trying to find a co-op game that you can play together is really, really difficult. I mean, some that really shine for me is Resident Evil 5 was a great co-op game. I had a buddy who was dedicated to playing that with me. We played it through it 3 or 4 times. It was so good. Great story. Borderlands, I have a Borderlands tattoo. It's so funny because Dave Eddings was on a couple weeks ago with Tiff, and before I met Dave, I have a Claptrap tattoo, and I'm like, first time I met him, I'm like, say dude, we knew who each other were. We were friends on Twitter, and he was like, Redbeard, and I'm like, Eddings, and I'm like, you want to see your tattoo? And he's like, I do, and it was just I got it because my buddy who's in the military, he was living in Georgia, and the only way we got to hang out was by playing through Borderlands, and we put thousands of hours into Borderlands, and that's if you're not into it, it sucks because Borderlands is the best co-op game really that kind of exists. And to me, Diablo is co-op because it's Diablo is the third person Borderlands because Borderlands is the first person Diablo, but Assassin's Creed and then Resident Evil Revelations 2 oddly is only couch co-op. It's not online co-op. It's couch co-op, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the co-op as well, and it's really hard to tell people what they should pick up or if you're looking for a co-op game because they see that there's money in being competitive, so everyone makes a competitive multiplayer game, and no one makes a cooperative campaign anymore.
Well, Holly, I extend my hand to you for the Borderlands series if you want to play.
Already done it.
But you haven't played with Shavasta. There's a difference, let me tell you. It's just the whole thing. I love PCs because of the fact that for me, my co-op, and I'm not saying or still is MMOs, because you can still go through that storyline. You can develop your character. You can kind of, and I know role play. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it, but you can go through this whole land and make it your own. Where I could never do that with the console, and still feel that I can't truly do that with the console. So I get what you're saying, Holly, that it's a little bit different when you want to go and just play together versus couch co-op. Especially when you're talking about the two of you competitive players, Robin and Holly, in the shooters. It's a big difference in comparison to, let's say, an MMO or a MOBA. We're never going to be satisfied, are we, as gamers? There's always something with us.
If Saints Row can come out with a game every month, I'm satisfied.
Dude, Saints Row 4 co-op is like so amazing. Tiff and I picked it up. We got it from a Loot Crate party at PAX South, and we're like, oh, look, here's a copy of Saints Row, and we played. Oh man, it is like so crazy fun, and I think she sold it. Because we weren't playing it.
I needed Splatoon.
Oh yeah, we were buying Splatoon, so there's that.
Oh, okay, then that's okay. It's all good.
Yeah, you need a Wii U. If you guys don't have
I need a Wii U. I need a Wii U. So Nintendo people, if you're listening, send it over.
Come on,
send it over.
Get your head out of your asses and send
damn it.
I'll take one too.
Yeah, if we're asking. All right, so we're going to roll to the end of the show where we're going to do our shout-outs. And if you don't know what the shout-outs are, turn the channel now. Just flip it off. Anyway, shout-outs are exactly that, shout-outs, where you are going to give a shout-out to the people that are wonderful, spectacular, got you here where you are today, which is just sitting at our table talking shit. So, Chris, we're going to go to you first.
Okay. Well, my first shout-out, obviously, is my beautiful fiancée, Tiff Toxic on the Twitter. We met each other on the Twitter machine. She's awesome. I'm way more impressed by her art than anything I do. So if you guys have the chance, check her out on Twitter. She's on Instagram at Tiff Toxic. She has a store that you can go to. I think it's tifftoxic.com. Is that right? Tiff Toxic Art. Artbytiff.com. Really amazing. Also, my buddy Mike Crockrell, he is the blood and power behind Redbeard TV. If you guys haven't seen my YouTube channel, go to redbeardtv.com, and it's really fun. We do a lot of interviews, and the more subscribers we have, we're really trying to make it into an actual money-making thing, so we can just kind of do that full time. But Mike Crockrell is awesome. You can find him on Twitter at Full Metal Penny, Full Metal Jacket, except it's his puppy's name. It's Penny. It's adorable. He posts his dog there too, and I think his Instagram is the same. And he really loves Batman. And if you guys like Batman, follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter. But he's amazing. And then last but not least, my good friend Richard Cook. I think his Twitter account is Richard Cook 1985. If you haven't seen his movie, it's called Pixel Poetry. Again, this is not a personal plug for me. I'm in it for 4 minutes or something. It's nothing at all. But it's a fantastic movie. He originally started filming it. It was supposed to be about is video games art? How are video games perceived? And it became much, much more than that over the process of him making the movie. It's only an hour and 11 minutes, so it's not super long, so you're not going to get bored. It's that perfect time period for a documentary where you're that was really good. I'm refreshed. Thank you, Richard Cook. But you can find Pixel Poetry on iTunes, Xbox Live. It's on GOG.com. You can go to Devolver. Devolver has it. They actually helped publish the game. But most importantly, go to pixelpoetrymovie.com and buy it from there. And that's going to be the cheapest place you can get it. And I think Richard gets more bang for the buck if you buy it from there. Totally worth buying it. It's a great documentary. And then last but not least, again, check out redbeardtv.com.
Holly, go ahead.
So I just have to say this because you said what, brought us to the table. Well, I got to thank my mom because my mom was totally supportive of my gaming and drove me to all those LAN tournaments when I was 12 and was painting me pictures of Counter-Strike for my wall. She was so hardcore into my gaming and still is. So gotta thank the mom. And then I gotta thank my husband because my husband and I met when I was 12, and he was what got me into Counter-Strike. So if it wasn't for him, I don't even know where I'd be. Probably still playing my Super Nintendo on my floor, which I still do, so I'm happy about that. And then I wanted to save Ashley for last, but I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, okay, yeah. So if you guys haven't heard of the No Princess in the Castle film, make sure you guys check it out. I'm starring in that film, and I'm super stoked. It's about women in the gaming industry. And I'm really excited because all of the women are like legit that are in the film, which is really great and very exciting. And I'm also excited just to have that type of platform. I'm super honored. I've always wanted to be in a gaming documentary. So it's like one of those things like that I'm just like, oh, check. Like this is like my life goal. So super excited. No Princess in the Castle. If you just Google No Princess in the Castle, like a slew of everything comes up. So check that out. And then got to give a shout out to my best friend, Ashley, aka Narcandy, who's in here, who plays through every single co-op game with me and feels the same exact way as I do. And we bitch and complain to each other about co-op games not existing as much. So super grateful for her. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up for me.
Robin.
All right, so I got fussed at last week because, obviously it was Mother's Day and I forgot to shout out my mom. So apologies to you, Mom, if you're watching the stream right now. But also, just like Holly Ann said, like I wouldn't be into gaming heavily as I am right now if it wasn't for her. She got my first console, a full 9, and she still supports my gaming career, all my gaming shenanigans still to this day. My lovely husband is sitting on the bed playing his Monster Hunter. To all the sponsors out there that sponsors LORT Nation, the SuperCon 2K series, as well as Empire Arcadia. Shout outs to SuperCon 2K. Shout outs to Empire Arcadia. Shout outs to all the fans, all you lovely ladies and gentlemen in the chat. Mr. Redbeard for coming out. Love you. Love your beard. Love that shirt. I'm probably going to get fussed at again for leaving somebody out, but thank you, everybody. Everybody that supported me throughout my whole professional gaming career and, still supporting me to this day. Oh, and and one more last thing, I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but for those of you that don't know, Nintendo World Championships is back after 25 years. So check on their site to see where's the nearest Best Buy store for the qualifiers. Go out there, and try your best in those games to get you into the real tournament, which will be held in Los Angeles. So, guys, it's going to be next weekend. So check your local listings at your Best Buy stores for that.
The Wiz 2, it's coming back. Yeah, Power Glove.
Power Glove. Mine's back there. Yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Pixie.
So shout outs to you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Robin, Holly for filling in. Thank you so much for being here, Redbeard. It's been awesome getting to talk with you. Shout outs to everybody in chat. You guys are here. Some of you are here every week. Some of you are newer. And we really appreciate you guys being here and spending time with us. Shout outs to my duo partner. Shout outs to Pac-Man. 35th anniversary. Happy 35th English so hard. Happy 35th birthday to you, you awesome yellow pie son of a bitch. We love you.
Awesome. All right, so we're back to me. All right, my shout outs go to Holly. Welcome to the table. We are very happy to have you. We are honored to have you at the table. Honored to be a castmate in No Princess of the Castle with you as well. Yeah. Waiting on that release date. Pretty excited about that movie. I think it's going to be great for everyone to see all of the women coming together, united to show the diversity and the straight up epicness of the female demographic that we are. I want to thank you, Chris, for coming and joining us at
Yeah.
the table. Especially when you just get that random, hey, you want to do this? It's really a great thing to see when people understand what we're trying to do, and what we're all about, and the passion that we have for the younger generation. Specifically for me being a parent and a budding young gamer and female, I don't know what, she's just really into science and technology. So it excites me when I see people that understand how much potential these kids have and how exciting it can be for them in this industry that we're all in love with. These things, these tangible things. These change makers are going to do some great things, and I'm hoping that in my generation, I can see some and put some smiles on these kids' faces, and that they can see that we actually are more than just talking heads, right? We're sitting up here, we're talking about these things we love, but we want to be able to make their lives easier. College, a cure for some of these kids who can't go to school, or parents who have no understanding of what the hell this whole 2-hour conversation was. We can educate them and let them know that it's okay to allow your kids to be on the internet within moderation, and to be able to understand and have a dialogue and communicate with those kids. All you kids that are introvert and no one understands you, we get you. We get it, right? We all been there. So thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with another great guest. Check out our YouTube for this show if you missed it. Oh, yay, shout outs. Ian. All right, Ian, you got a shout out?
Shout out. I want to give this awesome shout out to Portalarium and Shroud of the Avatar for, as of today, over at Rise Up, we have currently helped us raise over $5,000 for water.org.
Awesome.
And that marathon goes on all weekend, so when you're done here, if you're watching, head over there, check out our streamers, help raise some money for water.org. $25, give somebody water for life.
I also want to give a shout out to my friends over at Video Game Palooza, who are helping me put together a Young Developers Challenge for Indie PopCon. We are putting together a $10,000 challenge for any developers under 18 years old. So they're going to be competing over at Indie PopCon, bringing their best and brightest to show off their games and their game development skills. It's going to be a great time over there. So all of you guys coming in, we look forward to seeing you, and all of you robotics teams that are coming in to exhibit. We want to see those robots, and we want to see what you guys are all about. So FLL, First Lego League, thank you for sponsoring us and having us over there at Indie PopCon as well. All right, so guys, you know what time it is. Every night we dance it out, and now that Chris is here, he can show off those dance moves. Robin and Chris, the gauntlet's been thrown down. So, Ian, throw that music up. Let's go, guys. Break out with the dance move. Uh-oh. Dance it out.
Oh.
Pixie.
Oh.
Pixie.
Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh. Robin, pick it up.
What? What?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Don't make me get out of this chair.
Uh-oh. Oh, Chris.
What?
Oh. You got it. Robin, that was great. Chris, I don't know. I gotta give it to her.
We're gonna see you